Hi, my friends. We have another question today. This came from Mercedes Godoy from Mexico. She asked the following: how do you think they find the person in the photo you are working with on the other side? Their response is immediate, or it takes days for them to find that person. For example, my nephew died in Mexico. They are looking for him in some dimension that corresponds to Mexico. When I see a question like that, I perceive that you have the idea that we are here on Earth, and somewhere is the Spirit Friends, is the transmission station, somewhere isolated, separated from us, from here. It happens that whenever the other side have plans for bringing some information to Earth, and they send the workers that will be representing them, will be working for them, obviously this connection is very close. It has to, right? Because obviously the chance of the person on Earth to fail is always very big. So the link to the senders, let's say, those that prepared the incarnation of this person to be here, is obviously very close. And they will unfold the project as it is developing here. With this, I wanted to say that whenever a person is working for the other side in a project that is important for them, obviously it is important for us too, but this is originally a project that comes from the other side. So they have to care that this goes as in the rhythm that they need, the rhythm that we on Earth are prepared to receive. When you think that the transmission station is far away, and whenever we have a person to we wish news or images or voice, that I have to request, and then somehow magically they will find the person and so on. In truth, the spaces are interconnected, right? So while I'm talking to you, I'm sure that we are being watched by 100 spirit friends that are following our conversation, right? Why? Because this project that they have is not important for me or for you or for who is watching us. It is important for everybody. It is important to bring the information that we leave after death. Why? Because that is perhaps the last chance that the other side has to put humanity on the rails again, back. Because this had been a knowledge in ancient times, but it is not anymore. Nowadays, materialism took over everything. So people prefers not to think of the afterlife, that is real, it is not. So it's something that the majority simply ignores. And unhappily, the three main religions, which is Christianism, um, Islamism, and Judaism, I think that there are lots of books, mainly here in Brazil, written by Chico Xavier. And they describe in detail how is the life in the other side. And it is very similar to ours, right? And until we obviously, in a certain point, we don't come to Earth anymore. But that's not our case yet. So the space and time has to be controlled. so that they can reach us. Mainly, if you are talking about the devices, which is our case, right? So whatever happens, if I'm talking to you now, uh, everything they know, because they have to control everything to have the things going as they need this project to unfold, right? And as we see that the images, for instance, get better and better, that means that they are being allowed to go a step forward. When Lisa sends me the information of the mothers that are waiting for news for her sons or daughters, they are following everything. So I don't have to announce anything. This happens for more than 30 years. I remember that when I started, I created a very curious way of communication through voice. And I composed an equipment. Obviously, it was inspired by the other side. And I was assisting Brazilian mothers by the time. And every week, I recorded with one mother. It was a large group of mothers who had lost their kids. And every week it was a new one. And I didn't have any information. But by the time I would put through the station while speaking through the telephone with the mother. Let me try to be more clear. In that specific day that we made the appointment, if I remember, it was every Thursday. I would assist one mother who lost that son, for instance. And I just noted down in our agenda just for my control with whom I had to speak on that day, because the mother would phone me to my telephone, and I would leave an extension separately inside a box of a phone that I created myself in that extra telephone. So I was talking to the mother. The mother was in the far away from Sao Paulo talking, and the extension was prepared for the son to reply to the mother. And never I said to the other side, look, Thursday we will talk to this and that boy and this girl and so on. And all of them came on the line and talked to the mother. Oh, this is published and it was long ago. So I mean, I don't have to inform anything to the other side. I think that this replies your question. It doesn't matter if you are in Mexico, if you are in Australia, or in the North Pole. They know. I don't, but it doesn't matter that I don't know. One fact that I can tell you, for instance, was the following. Some years ago, I made a recording, but I was making it live through Skype or through Zoom. And I was talking to a person that many persons know, Karen Hartvier from Australia. She lost her daughter, Emma. And I, up to date, have never had her address. I don't know. I just know that she's from Australia. But the other side brought Emma replying in voice. And a very interesting phenomenon happened. It is in one of our magazines. I don't remember which one, but it is there. And in Karen's house, it happened the apparition of something like a cloud. Up to date, have no idea which is her address. So they don't need it, right? They know everything that is happening. There was also another case that happened in California with Katarina. She lost Alex. The whole story and the whole case is in one of our magazines. And while I was talking to Katarina, her son appeared on her back in her room in California. I was registering because we were talking through Zoom, right? Also, in her hair appeared some trans images. I don't know where Katarina lives. I just know that she's from California. Summarizing, in truth, I don't have to inform the other side because this project of this interdimensional communication is not from Sonia. It is from the other side. And they are responsible for carrying on these. And they presently clearly wanted to support mothers who lost the kids through suicide. So, Mercedes, I hope that I had replied to your question. And if you still have any doubt, please contact us back. Okay? A big hug to you, Mercedes, and to everybody that is listening to us. Stay well till our next question.